My cousin drunkenly confessed she regrets not aborting her surprise one-night stand pregnancy. She has really good support and a healthy, easygoing child, so if she regrets it, I can't imagine how hard it is for other women like her who don't have support. Hey everyone, welcome back to Lives on Reddit. Don't forget to subscribe to be a For Lifer. I'm finally fully vaccinated, so I was able to fly down to my home country to visit and say goodbye to my grandmother, who is in the final stages of life. I stayed with my aunt and uncle, who live with my cousin and her young daughter. I'll rename my cousin Julia for this post. Julia is 27 and she has a 3-year-old daughter who I'll rename Isabella. Isabella is the result of a one-night stand, broken protection, and Plan B not stopping the pregnancy. Julia doesn't know who the father is other than his first name, which is a super common name and could be fake for all she knows. She doesn't even know if he's from the city she was visiting when she got pregnant. They went back to her hotel room from a bar, and she said she may not even recognize him if she saw him on the street because they were in a dark bar, went back to a hotel, were intimate, and then he was gone when she woke up. The family is not super religious, but they do believe in God, so they accepted it as God's plan. And to their credit, my aunt and uncle were incredibly supportive and helpful. Isabella is a sweet kid. I'm not interested in having kids, hence being a lurker of Childfree, but if I did want one, I'd want my kid to be like Isabella. She's cute, very sweet, clearly smart, as easy as a 3-year-old kid gets, and is in perfect health. Julia basically won the kid lottery with Isabella. Julia and I had a Netflix night with some wine and popcorn and snacks after Isabella went to bed the other night. And after a few glasses of wine, Julia confessed to me in tears that she considered an abortion with Isabella and deeply regrets not finding a way to get the abortion behind her family's back. Abortion is only legal in limited circumstances in my home country, so Julia would have had to lie to get one. But being upper middle class and with a sister who is a doctor who would have covered for her if that was what Julia truly wanted, she would have been able to pull it off and get a safe abortion. But she was scared of getting caught lying about being forced into intimacy. She'd have had to say she was forced into intimacy to get a legal abortion, or scared of getting her sister in trouble by asking her to help her have an illegal abortion, and scared of the judgment if people found out she aborted. In my home country, it is much worse to abort a pregnancy than to have a baby not knowing who the father is. Julia gets praised for doing the right thing by not aborting for convenience. I was surprised because her posts on social media are so gushy about how much she loves Isabella, how she thanks Isabella for choosing her, how having Isabella made her become a better person. Her feed changed overnight from party girl to doting mother. And I always thought how nice it was that Julia had seemed to finally find her peace in the world. It can't have been easy being the one struggling to find your way in life when your older sister is a doctor and your older brother is a lawyer. Julia said that she does genuinely love Isabella and that having Isabella force her to grow up and be a better person, for example, less of a self-centered party girl, to use a translation of Julia's own words. But she'd have naturally grown up anyway over the course of her 20s. And being a mother has taken everything else in her life. She wishes she could use her newfound maturity to go to university or make a career, but needs to wait until Isabella is in school. And she'll be at a disadvantage since she'll be needing to mommy track straight out of school. She wishes she could travel after COVID, but she's tied down with Isabella. She hasn't been intimate or even been on a single date since she learned she was pregnant with Isabella 4 years ago now. She hates that. No one is interested in dating a single mom except single dads, and she is very much one and done with Isabella. She said she loves her, but she cannot do it again, and doesn't want to take on another kid, especially as men in my home country don't pull their weight, and there is a cultural expectation that the women will look after the kids. Julia would be doing all the work with both her kid and his kid or kids whenever they are with them, and she knows it. Dating a single dad would basically mean signing up for one or more kids to be responsible for. She said she means it when she says she loves Isabella and said she'll take a bullet for her without hesitation. But a lot of her social media posts are because her therapist basically told her, fake it till you make it, with liking motherhood. And Julia said it helps a bit because it forces her to think of the positives, but she still regrets it. She does genuinely love her, and she feels bad for wishing her away, but she said she chose Isabella over every dream for my life, and I love her. But if I aborted her, I wouldn't know her anyway. It wasn't a good trade, and I'm just Isabella's mom now, and I hate it. Having Isabella completely upended her life, and these thoughts are all coming from someone who really does have a lot of family support, and a family who is financially comfortable for my home country. My aunt babysits Isabella a lot and helps out with her a lot. But my aunt and uncle are not at retirement age yet and need to work. And at the end of the day, Isabella is Julia's daughter, not my aunt's or my uncle's. So she can't expect to dump Isabella on her parents all the time. But despite having an abundance of family support, not living paycheck to paycheck, being able to live at home rent-free, and being able to maintain a social life, pre-COVID at least, and having a healthy child, Julia still feels trapped by motherhood and regretful of her decision to have Isabella. Julia has the best possible circumstances you can ask for after keeping a one-night stand pregnancy, but she still wishes she could take her decision back. This is no slam on Julia, by the way. What I'm getting at is that I can't imagine how it would be for someone like Julia, but who doesn't have that family support and is barely making ends meet. If Julia regrets it, I wonder what hope is there for other young mothers in that country. The ones who can't have an abortion but have no support, no money, don't have a healthy child or an easygoing child, etc., etc. But she'd have naturally grown up anyway over the course of her 20s, and being a mother has taken everything else in her life. This is what stuck to me the most in your post. Some parents act like their children saved them from themselves, made them become a better person, turned them into whoever they are today, etc. Yeah, no. You don't need the brutal, back-breaking hard work that is child raising to become a better person. Life lessons, work, school, relationships, there's plenty going on in life that can change a person. But most of the time, it sounds more like the parents are trying to convince themselves that they are better people because of their children. Very well said. I often hear people trying to convince themselves that their kids help change them for the better. Behind that, I can hear they know this is a lie. People only say this in an attempt to accept reality. They don't know how to admit they hate having a kid, but will do their best to raise it. Humans are capable of adjusting to difficult situations in life, but having kids is almost always a choice. Why most people are incapable of knowing they'll hate being a parent is beyond me. As I've gotten older, I really have realized that all of these gushy social media posts on kids are literally just a fake it till you make it. And your post just confirmed this. Julia is definitely not alone. No one, almost no one, is going to admit that they regret their kid, especially as a woman. It's sad most women really don't realize they literally lose their life and so much of their identity as a trade-in. Where I live, abortion is legal, but most people get pressured out of it. I knew a few girls in my teens that got pregnant who were told, "You have to face the consequences." Like, shut the frick up. These girls were kids themselves practically. It's so sad they got robbed of their right to do what they wanted with their bodies. Face the consequences. Imagine one day explaining to a child, "Yeah, you aren't here because we considered you a fully unique, valid person. You're here because we decided that your mother needed a life lesson." What kind of psycho thinks any kid would be happy to be born under those circumstances? This is why I never trust moms who preach about their child online. Not only online, just in general. In one of my classes pre-pandemic, I sat in front of a group of soccer moms, and let's just say they were chatty Cathys about everything but their children. One woman said she didn't care to grow old with her kids and was willing to do anything to be with her man. The other started leaving her kids alone and sleeping out at some guy's house. He wasn't even her boyfriend. The other one stated that her adult children, 18 to 25, snapped on her, but she, the mother, didn't know why, yet booked a trip in class that same day. That's just one class. Yet, I'm labeled every ugly word for stating facts and being self aware about not being interested in being a mother of any kind. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't leave. Subscribe. Be a for lifer.